Hi Stampers, welcome back to another episode of our weekly card making series. I'm Nancy Novak and I'm thrilled to have you here with me this week because I have to confess something. Christmas trees hold a very special place in my heart. So what better way to celebrate the magic of the holidays than by featuring my all-time favorite Christmas trees. So we're working with the Merriest Trees bundle. It comes with the stamp set and the dies. This die set is amazing. It has trees in all different sizes. It has presents, it has bows, it has stars, it has the ornaments, it just has everything. So today we're using a little bit of the Snowflake Magic Designer Series paper. It's that foil shiny paper. And this might look like a simple card, and it is a simple card, but there's something I want to show you that we haven't done yet. It's a little bit different. And when we get to that point, I'll tell you what it is. So make sure you stick around. So a little bit more about this paper. It's called Snowflake Magic. It's foil paper. These are the 3 designs. You get 2 of each design in 12 by 12 sheets of paper. So we used this one last week. So make sure you go back and check out the video if you missed it. And this is the one we're going to use today. I haven't used this one yet, so we'll have to see how I can fit that into our card making. The supplies we're using. I have a card base of Pretty Peacock, and it's 11 by 4 1/4, and it's scored at 5 1/2. And I have a piece of white for the inside. And on the front, we just have a piece of white and a piece of that Designer Series paper and a little strip for our sentiment. And you need a gold scrap, just a tiny scrap, probably about 1 by 2 inches, to cut out the tree base and a star. So I already did that part. So when we get to that, we'll just put that on our card. I'm also using some bling, and when we get to the end of our card, I'll bring that out and we'll talk about what I used. So the first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to bring in a scrap of white. I don't know if I mentioned that we need a scrap of white for our tree. And we're going to stamp it, and we're going to stamp off. So let me show you how we do that. So I'm going to bring in the stamp that has the full tree. And we're also going to use the stamp that gives the detailed pine look to it. So we're going to stamp in Lost Lagoon. And this is a really big stamp. And with this polymer stamp, this is a solid stamp. I'm going to bring in a magazine, and I'm going to bring in a scrap. So I'd have some kind of base there, some kind of soft base. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp off on a scrap. See how dark that is? And then I'm going to stamp on my white cardstock. I'm going to hold it there for a minute or a second or two and just lift straight off. Next, I'm going to stamp up the detailed image. Sometimes it's easier with these great big stamps to work sideways. And I'm just going to lay it right over there and put that inked image down. And look how pretty that turned out. Isn't that gorgeous? Can you see that? It's gorgeous. So don't worry too much about your first image. If it doesn't come out exactly perfect, go ahead and do that second stamp and see how it turns out. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cut this with one of the dies. So let me bring these dies back in and talk just a little bit about it. So it has different size dies. So if I wanted to use the great big one, I would use this one. But I just want to use the one that's going to show the 4 layers of the tree. But we have all layers of the tree. We have 4 layers. We could even go down to 3 layers. And we could go down to a tree, 2 layers. And we can go down to the treetop. So it cuts them all out depending on the size tree you want to use, or depending if you want to layer them. So hopefully we're going to get to layering these trees later on in the week. But today I am going to bring in the die that has 4 layers. And I'm going to go ahead and cut that out, and I will be right back. Okay, so see it cut off that bottom layer, which we're not going to use. And here's the tree. And here's where we're going to do something different. So what I'm going to do is I am going to bring in Versamark, and I'm just going to tap my tree. I have this little scrap down here, scrap paper. I'm going to tap my tree with that Versamark. And now I'm going to bring in my little tray, and I'm going to use clear embossing powder. And now I'm going to heat that with my heat tool and going to make it shine. Okay, so now our tree is really come to life. It's very shiny, and the dark color, the dark ink really pops now, and it's going to look really pretty on our card. Go ahead and put the front of our card together. So I am going to glue the Designer Series paper to the white piece and the white piece to the front of the card. Okay, now the Christmas tree I'm going to pop up on dimensionals. I placed it right in the middle of my card. Now I'm going to bring in the tree base and the star. So the tree base I'm just going to glue, and the star I am going to put a dimensional on the back of that. I think I'll use a little dimensional on the star. My tree is popping up a little, so I'm going to put a little dimensional on the edge of that branch. Perfect. And now our star. And then we'll do our sentiment for the front, and then we'll work on the inside. So this stamp set includes a stamp that says love and joy, and I'm going to stamp it in Pretty Peacock. This is about a 1/2 inch scrap of white. And stamp right in the center. Then I'm going to bring in my paper snips, and I'm just going to shorten it a little bit. And I'm going to pop that up on dimensionals. I'm just going to put one in the middle. Now I'll place it right in the middle of our tree. We're going to do the inside of our card, then we're going to come back and put a little bling on the sentiment. Okay, so for the inside, I have a scrap in my little magazine here, and I have my solid tree, and I have Lost Lagoon. And I'm going to ink the top part of my tree, just like the top 3 layers in Lost Lagoon. And I'm going to stamp the tree in the bottom right of this inside piece. Like that. And then I'm going to bring in the detailed stamp. And I'm going to ink that up in Lost Lagoon. And I'm going to go right over that image that we just did. And that gave it that detail. Next, I'm going to bring back in the Pretty Peacock and stamp the sentiment. Hoping your home is filled with the spirit of the season. That is so pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. So let's glue this to the inside of our card. And I have a little bit of bling for the front. These are the adhesive back glitter sequins. And we're just going to put a little bit of bling right on the sentiment there. So here's today's cards. I hope you were inspired. So by doing the clear embossing on the Christmas tree, we really created a totally shiny card. It's very, very pretty. And it's just as pretty inside. So again, I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know. Leave your comments. Share my video. Make sure you subscribe so you know when I'm going to do a new video. I'm going to try this week to be here every day at noon, but I'm not guaranteeing it. So we'll see how that goes. So as long as you have that notification bell checked, you'll be notified whenever I am going on with a new video. Also, I forgot to mention that all of the sizes, the measurements, the supplies I used, and shopping links are on my blog, stampandshout.blogspot.com. Or you can scroll down in the description of this video and look for the words that say project sheets. And there's a link there, and it takes you right to my blog where all that information is. That's all you need to know. And go there because the pictures of my cards are really big on my blog, so you really get to see all the detail. So again, I will see you soon. Don't be shy. Stamp and shout.